cheap salvation is the lie that killed you. I can hear Jesus saying it, can't you? He showed us no cheap salvation. He taught no cheap salvation in Matthew, Luke, and Mark. There are consequences to choices. There are consequences to lying to ourselves and others.
Right, you know how to put it on?
He couldn't save us if we wouldn't listen to him. He couldn't save us if we wouldn't try to hear
You
him.
try the advance one this time so you can touch the top?
He couldn't save us if we tried to avoid hearing him, which is what we've been doing for 2,000 years, with all of the creativity and passion and commitment that we possibly can, avoiding his example and his teachings. Take up my yoke and learn from me. Pick up your cross and follow me. Follow me.
No, everybody got sick.
It is hundreds or thousands of years too late for our species and most species to be saved. But as for myself, facing Jesus' teachings and example greedily is saving me so far every day, every hour from a world that otherwise would be unbearable for me. It is tempting to think from time to time, James, why don't you just off yourself somehow? I look forward to the time when I'm no more in this world. It's almost unbearable, but it's not unbearable because of the teachings and example of the man Jesus that I now follow as greedily as I can. My big salvation is in the perception that there is an eternity. Well, I know there's an eternity. Whatever I am in my final breath is what will continue into eternity. That no one would know it or see it is secondary. It is true that whatever we are in our final breath, whatever we've been in our life, continues on to eternity, into eternity. And that is a worthwhile feeling if one is committed to being good and as good as they possibly can be, as much like Jesus as they possibly can be. And what a wonderful gift making life, showing us how to have life that's bearable in a hell world, which he's done. Which he did, which he developed for himself, lived for himself, and tried to teach, show, and lead us to. Matthew, Luke, and Mark. 80 core teachings at Cheesianity.info. 1,010 individual teachings. 3 cornerstone gospels, Matthew, Luke, and Mark. And if Matthew, Luke, and Mark are the lens through which the Gospel John is seen, if they are not separated but integrated, John too is very, very helpful. If any of us, James, the one speaking here, being the only one under his control, if any of us, the degree to which any of us are truly disciples, truly embodiments of Jesus, we make it that much more possible for someone else to see the possibility. Which is worth doing, which is worth living for. Regardless of the impending hell, even on an overprivileged white guy like James. It might even see him through the physical torture that he sees impending for himself, let alone many others, unfolding now on many others, the most godly among us, the indigenous of Palestine, the indigenous of the United States. But James is the one that he's personally responsible for. And his belief in a eternal heaven that he does not know exists, but he believes exists because it's useful for him to believe it exists, to believe in that. Helps him dozens of times a day find the path that Jesus showed us and tried to teach us and lead us to, which is a joyful path, even in hell world. James, I notice you're complaining. Is that going to qualify you for Jesus' eternal team of soul rehabilitators? Oh yeah, probably not. And just that thought helps James refocus himself. James, you're frustrated. James, you're getting distracted. You're getting distracted by what's going on in Washington and the rest of the world that you can do nothing about. Do they really want people that are easily distracted on the team? Do they really want people that are not able to maintain their focused service even under hell conditions? They might love them, James, but they don't need them on the team. Oh yes, thank you for reminding me. And so far, James finds the strength to keep going in a world that otherwise he just wants to kill himself. It is so painful, it is so ugly, it is so horrible. Thank you, Jesus. It's incredible, it's amazing, it's unbelievable, but thanks to you, I've found the impossible, and I'm trying to share it with others.